Hey everyone, John with Iron Sharpens Irons here, where one golfer sharpens another. Thanks for tuning in, and we're going to earn your subscriptions and your likes and your comments on this video because we've got a great one for you. It's a $199 driver showdown, the Kirkland Signature at $199 that you can't buy at $199 right now, versus PXG, the Gen 5 that you can find online with special pricing through January 2nd. So we went and got a fitting. We compared these two head to head. Let's show you how it went down.
Okay, let's get into it with the voiceover here. This is my PXG fitting. PXG doesn't have a retail location in Las Vegas, not yet right now. There's only a few in the area, and Chris Reedy is my fitter's name here. Chris did my full bag when I bought the 0211s back in 2021. Had a great experience with him then. This was a great experience. Chris let me bring in all the clubs. He was excited about it. He was okay with me filming as well. If you're in the area, if you live in Vegas, I'd say Chris is a high recommend, and you got to wait a little bit for an appointment. So I made this appointment. We did the fitting on the 23rd of December. It was probably 10 to 14 days. And in that time, the Costco driver came out, and then I ordered it and got it delivered. So kind of synced up timing-wise. But here I am with the fitting with Chris. And first up is the Kirkland Signature. This is cranked up to 11.5 degrees with that Riptide shaft, 60 grams. And what you see on that first shot is what I normally miss at. So a good normal miss here for me. Off the toe, went left. Chris is using a Trackman, and then you see, again, this is not a PXG facility, so Chris has his own Trackman, and then this is the Foresight Sports tracker. So numbers might be a little bit off between the two. I'm going to give you the numbers that I see here, and then Chris obviously has his numbers off the Trackman that we'll compare momentarily. But Costco driver, really liking it more and more the more that I use it, and especially because the ball flies straight. Straight ball flight, that one just a hair to the right, but I would take that any day of the week. Compression feels good off the face there, and I like a harder kind of feel when I swing. I like feeling that I've really kind of put a charge into the ball. I don't like the soft, buttery, just feels like you've hit nothing. So that first one went 252 total distance. And now here's my second shot. And that ball flight's great. So Costco driver, again, I think the thing that you need to know, and I've repeated it, while the sound is weird, said that in my first video, ball flight is more and more straight. And I played maybe combined one total round and then adding this fitting experience. I don't really have a lot with the K-Sig under my belt, but I do like it. And at $199, I don't think you can go wrong. Where you can go wrong, though, is by not getting fitted. And I'll speak to points throughout this video that say, here's the reason why you need to go in and see somebody like a Chris. Right now, PXG's fittings are $25, and then they waive that fee if you end up purchasing a club. So it's not a high price to have a good experience. And here's another good drive with the Kirkland Signature. A little bit more of a draw pull here. So this is normal ball flight for me, again, and that's a drive that I take not too far off the center line. Don't really love hitting in sims. It gives me a little bit of claustrophobia, and I tend to lend to a fade, so I wasn't really aiming down straight at that white line here. But let's have Chris break down the numbers on the Kirkland Signature driver.
Hitting slightly down on the golf ball, pretty level, but slightly down on the golf ball. If anything, the launch and spin are maybe a hair low, so the ball's flying a little short of where it should. But your total distance 252, your cap out at 97 swing speed here in Henderson, 257. So not too bad. The average shot 36 feet right at the center. So average shot in the fairway, pretty good distance off of it.
So good, honest opinion from Chris, and he was honest throughout, really gave me good comparison. It's hard to say he's not a little biased because he's a PXG guy, but I thought his opinions throughout and him just explaining the numbers to me were true and honest to what the clubs are, and we can see the numbers here. 252 average, 257 was optimal, but the Kirkland Signature, great value. $199, go buy it. If you find it, buy it. If you when we compare the Kirkland with the Gen 5. But let's just go to my 0211 to kind of give you a baseline to older technology compared to the Kirkland. The 0211 in the Aldala shaft, and if you're looking for a driver that's even cheaper now, this one's great. I enjoyed my time with this driver. Dispersion got tighter, distance got longer, and really I got to a point in my game where I had stretches where I said, driver's best club in my bag, which how many people can say that? You know, I would always step up to the tee, pretty confident that this would find the fairway and I'd have a decent look at a green in regulation. So no complaints here. I think that compared to the Kirkland now, the feel was better on this. I got a little bit more of a trampoline effect, which I enjoyed. It just felt like I hit it better. The launch was better, which you'll see in the numbers momentarily at 12 degrees versus the Riptide shaft at 11.5 degrees with that head titanium face insert that they have and the carbon crown and yada yada. So the first one with the PXG, that was 250. This one 242, a little bit right, and then you'll see the next one even more right at 223. So I can do a push thing, or I can do the more severe thing and the unplayable miss, which is that pull hook that I play. But this was good. Not great, but I think it shows you that this is outdated for me. Comparing the 0211 to the Kirkland, go with the Kirkland. But as I said, you find this for $80 or $75 wherever you can get your hands on an 0211 driver. Super forgiving for me. That is a purchase worth getting as long as that shaft is the right fit for you. And again, ding, 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 get fitted, right? But I'm a little bit more consistent as far as ball flight and dispersion with the Kirkland Signature. So 0211 outdated. Here's a good one here, but you saw a couple flare off to the right. So now, between old technology and new Kirkland technology, let's go with the Kirkland, but let's have Chris actually break it down maybe a little bit more coherently.
So the challenge is when you got fit for that Aldila shaft, you were not swinging this fast.
Yeah, okay.
So club speed with the Kirkland driver, 96.9, ball speed 140.6. With the PXG driver, exact same club speed. Ball speed goes up 0.8 of a mile an hour. So you get slightly better ball speed out of the 0211. Now the curious thing about that is that you're getting more ball speed with a club that probably has slightly more loft on it.
Yeah.
Because your launch angle with the Kirkland drivers at 10.5, your launch angle with the PXG drivers at 12.2. So the launch is better with the PXG and the ball speed is better with the PXG. Where we would want to fine tune you is, number one, I'd like to get the club face a little bit closer to square because that would leave the face less open. And that would also handle the extra spin. So launch is better, spin is not as good.
Okay.
So your carry distance is better, your total distance is lagging behind. The Kirkland's at 252 because the spin rate's under 3,000.
Yep.
Here, the spin rate goes over 3,000, carry distance goes up, but the total distance comes up short. And we notice an excess of spin. Here we have slight low on the launch and the height.
So Kirkland's.
So if we wanted to optimize it, the Kirkland driver needs to hit the ball higher in order to be optimized. So probably have to make a slight change to how the sleeve is on there, probably loft it up a touch.
Okay.
And then as far as the PXG goes, I would want to put you in a stiff flex shaft to bring the spin down. And see if we can't give you any other combination of head and shaft that would increase your swing speed.
Okay.
So between the PXG, 0211, and the Kirkland, I like the Kirkland. I think the lower spin numbers are better, and it really, again, speaks to the importance of getting fitted. Get fitted, especially at $25. Not only do you get those stats that Chris just rolled out, but I don't know if you heard it, he said I'm swinging a lot faster than I did when I originally got fitted for the Aldila shaft. So how cool is it to learn that? And I was unaware of it at all. I knew I'd been playing better, maybe driving it a little bit better, but if you're not super into numbers and you don't spend time in a sim or you don't have a launch monitor at home, getting fitted is the only way that you're going to find out those numbers. So now we've moved on to the Gen 5, the 0311, the XF head, more forgiving head. The first shot there that you saw was that pull hook, went 203 yards. The second one on a rope, really felt solid, really had the trampoline effect that I like, but also a little bit firmer feel that we got with the Kirkland. So the Kirkland had that firm feel that I enjoyed. The PXG had the sound and the trampoline effect. The 0311 Gen 5 has them both. So that one, 255, straight down the middle. That's about where I'm aiming on the screen here. Let's take a look at this next one. Yeah, so a little bit to the right there of the center line, and then a little bit of draw on it. So we like this. How can you not like this? 255 on this one, so noticing a little bit more consistent distance here But we're going to turn to Chris. He doesn't like something about the XF head.
Oh,
Same swing speed, slower ball speed. Still hitting down on the ball with an open club face.
okay.
So launch and spin are just too high.
Okay.
Right. Going to change heads.
So at this point, you might be saying, okay, well, just hit more up on the ball, John. Well, I don't think I want to change my swing in the middle of a fitting. And also, you talk about tendencies. You tend to go back to what you normally do, which is I hit down on the ball. It's gotten a lot better in recent years. But if you don't play for a month or you don't practice for a month, that tendency tends to start coming back. So I got this far. I didn't want to make a major swing adjustment. Now we're in the standard head, or not the extra forgiving head. It is a little bit shorter from heel to toe and a little bit shorter from front to back. But I couldn't see the difference. I held the two up and marginal. Still 460 cc's. And that first one flared to the right. That second one took off like a rocket. And now here's where the video gets a little bit more interesting, to where the numbers start to separate themselves. That was 262 total distance, and was a little bit of a baby draw here on the foresight monitor. And then I hit another one, and Chris likes this next one too. He says they're within feet of each other according to the Trackman. So when I hit this, I get the trampoline, and I feel like the ball takes off a lot faster, and it does. It's 4 miles an hour faster, and we'll get into the numbers here as well. But again, this was another one that was 262, where you have the average for the Kirkland at 252, and slower ball speed. Now we found the right shaft with the right club head at the right loft. This one's at 9 degrees. Let me know what you think in the comments. Back to Chris to explain.
The last one you hit is 261.4, 15 feet right in the center.
Okay.
So those balls are 2.5 football fields away from you, and they're within less than 3 feet of each other. The big jump here is on ball speed.
Yeah, now,
The Kirkland driver swings at 97 with 140 ball speed. This club here is swinging at 98, so 1 mile an hour more club speed, but your ball speed jumps 4 miles an hour.
And that's a significant difference that can no longer be ignored. So now here we are. We've arrived. The cream is rising to the top. The Gen 5 standard head for me, going through the fitting process at $199, is the superior club. This club was built in 2022, where you have the Kirkland Signature that debuted in late 2023. This technology a little bit older, but I love the feel of it. And it really, it was interesting to get a club where I'm playing previously 12 degrees, 0211, 11.5 degrees Kirkland, and him telling me on the Kirkland I need to launch it a little bit higher. Now we have the stiff flex shaft with a 9-degree head that is launching about the same as the Kirkland that you will see in numbers coming up that he's going to show, and 10 yards of distance. There you go. We found our club. I hit one more to make sure it's not a fluke, and it wasn't a fluke.
yeah.
260.2, 2 feet right of the center line, 98 swing, 145 ball.
Okay. There you go. Chris wasn't worried the whole time. I don't think I was worried either. I was more curious about the...
Overall, it is...
Yeah.
So the difference, here's the Kirkland driver, 97 swing, 140.6 ball speed. The PXG driver swings 1.5 miles an hour faster on the club speed, but the ball speed goes up 4 miles an hour. The launch and spin are very similar to each other, 10.5 with 2,600 spin. Here we're at 10 with 2,900 spin. All in total distance, 252 with the Kirkland driver. All 4 of those balls in the fairway look nice. Here, average 9 feet off the center line, 261.
Yeah, and of
9
course,
yards more distance.
you're going to take, 10 yards any day.
So there you have it, the Kirkland Signature. It's out of the bag. No, I'm kidding. I'm not totally getting rid of it, but we're going to have the PXG put in the bag, and it literally got delivered just a few minutes ago as I was filming this video. It's here. And there it is. The Gen 5 is here, and looks great. And really, the difference for me in feeling, besides the number, was that when I hit this well, you got that warm and fuzzy driver feeling, right? I don't get that with the Kirkland Signature, I'll be honest with you. When you feel like you crushed a drive, you get it with the PXG. Not so much with the Kirkland. That's not going to go away because a lot of people still want that Costco driver at $199, and I even said it in the video. If you find it and it's a story that you want and it's a story that you like, get the Kirkland Signature at $199. You can certainly do a lot worse at that price, if you can even find a new driver at that price. But speaks to the importance of getting fitted, right? If you go to the rack and you're like, hey, I think this is what my swing speed is, and I think the Costco Kirkland Signature is going to be a fit. Well, I think case in point here is that I was proven wrong. I'm swinging faster. I needed a different setup, and the only way you're going to figure that out is, one, either become an expert in swing speeds and numbers and running a Trackman, or two, which is a lot easier, it's going and getting fitted. We hope we earned your subscribe on this. We don't want to just blindly say subscribe to the channel, although that'd be great. But hopefully you got some value out of this. Again, the point of Iron Sharpen Irons is that we just want one golfer to teach another golfer something. And if you learned something, give us that like, give us that subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you thought and maybe what you want the next video to be. We'll see you next time.